Hey everyone, and welcome to this. Our final. Yeah, I think we're not doing next week, are we? We doing one next week? Anyways, we'll say our second to last edition of Paranormal Q&A with Jack, Kenna, and Carly Hall for 2020.
Yes.
I'll be glad when this year's over. So will a lot of people. Anyways, so we're here. We put a little logo up in our thing. Say Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Happy holidays, all that good stuff. So. Glad you could all join us tonight out there. I know we probably have a few people rolling in. It doesn't look like we have anybody at the moment, but we will, I'm sure, have somebody rolling.
Oh, they'll all roll in soon.
Yeah, because I'm going to get my comments on. And we did something different. Do you see any comments over there, Carly?
I do not, but I do see people popping in.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm saying. Oh, they're there. It was Bob Maloney.
Hey, Bob Maloney.
Happy holidays, Bob. Merry Christmas. Bob is popping in. So, how's your week been, Carly Hall?
My week's been good.
I know you thought yesterday was Sunday.
Yep, and I was supposed to work on Monday.
Bob Burnell, how you doing? Yeah, Carly was supposed to work on Monday, and she
just didn't.
Forgot and thought Monday was Sunday and didn't get up in time to go to work.
Nope.
So anyway, stuff happens like that. Even I've lost track of days sometimes. I wake up and think it's a Saturday or a Sunday and it's a Monday or a Friday or something like that. Hey, Barry Mart's out there. Carl. How you doing, Carl Mitchell? Bob Burnell. I think I said hi to Bob already. Michelle. Holly. And Carl again. Look, Carl's there. Carl keeps showing up all the time. He keeps talking to everybody. That's why. It's good. So how's everybody's time out there? Are you guys out there all ready for Christmas and the holidays? You got all your shopping done for everybody if you're going to do any. And if you're not going to do any, well, I don't blame you. Carly and I have finished ours, I'm pretty sure. I know I finished mine for Carly. Carly made out like a bandit this year.
I did.
She got hers early even.
I did. I can make cookies this year.
Yeah, you keep telling me that and you don't do it. Although you did buy the chocolate chips already.
I did. I will. I just have to get to it because once I start, it's going to be like nonstop for like hours. So that's why I'm like, am I ready for like a solid 5-hour baking session right now or am I not?
Well, you know, it's cookies. It's worthwhile. It's 5 hours. You do more than that streaming.
That's true. I feel like I had a whole paranormal Q&A yesterday, man.
No, you were telling me about that. What happened with it? Because it is paranormal related. Because Carly's been streaming and she's been doing a lot of what you've been doing, streaming a lot of like horror movie things.
Oh yeah,
that's
what I do. That's my.
Hi, Barry March.
Stream horror games. So of course I started playing Phasmophobia, and that's a paranormal investigation game. So we will literally be like holding the K2 and it'd be like level 5 K2 and then they'll turn around and be like, does that really happen? And I'm like, yeah. Not exactly like this, but it's cool.
Like that. K2 does flash or whatever, but
yeah.
Just by K2 going off doesn't mean it's a ghost.
Level 5 of the K2, we have ghost writing and we had fingerprints. Oh my god, it's a djinn. No, it doesn't work.
Hey, Carly, you're lagging over on your end. I don't know why.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. At least on me. Everybody looks. Carly looks okay to everybody. Let me know, because from mine, she looks like she was lagging a bit.
Let me take a look.
Sure. But we are doing something different. So we got Carly in StreamYard with me this time. So we're trying something different. I didn't know how it's going to work out, but if it's causing her to lag, we may have to switch her over to connecting through the link like I always do. Jason, hey,
I was lagging you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try switching Carly. I'm going to try to switch it back over and see if it makes a difference. It might just be our stuff tonight. I don't know. But let me do this. I'm going to send Carly an invite out there with all you guys. Send it to her on Messenger here.
I'm going to close out of this.
Oh, temporarily not working. Yeah, I wonder if it's a problem with StreamYard. Never know. Okay, Carly, close out of that. I'm going to send you a connection request. It could be a StreamYard issue tonight, too, which is very rare. We almost never have problems with StreamYard. So I do like this program. I got to admit. Thank you to Steve Coles for letting me know about it. So I'll have Carly back in a second. I just had to send her an invite because she was lagging. But Jason, happy holidays to you. I figured you kind of meant happy, not hey. Yeah, Barry, there was a delay. And I think it had to do with me trying to have her come through on StreamYard, be with me on a second open thing of StreamYard on another laptop without using Ethernet cable, because she is using Wi-Fi over on that other computer. I do notice using the Ethernet cable makes things a much better as far as streaming wise. Here she comes. Let's see if this makes a difference.
Hello.
Yes, much better. So it may be that we can't, without having the Ethernet cable hooked up, we may not be able to let you come in that way.
Yeah, Barry said there was a delay.
Yeah. So we could do it the other way from now on. We could have you bring me in.
That's true. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, because you're actually better at watching all the see. Because sometimes people I seem to go like wonky on you, like I'm staring at nothing because I'm looking at the comments you guys are making as you come in. So I'm actually reviewing my own thing. We probably should have somebody do it for us, Carly.
I do it.
Manage it for us and bring us in. No, that way we don't have to worry about reading it. Somebody else will tell us.
Oh, yeah. It's okay though. We got it. I think we got it covered.
I think we do. So that Walsh, have a Merry Christmas out there. I see you out there. And Carl says he's pretty much done with Christmas shopping. But anyways, we were talking about you playing Phasmophobia and what you started. Suddenly people were, your followers are asking you all kinds of questions?
Yeah, so, well, not last night. I wasn't playing last night. But the couple nights ago, it was actually really cool because we were doing a spirit box and there was like a glitch in the game where this isn't supposed to happen, but the spirit box will actually only work for certain people in the game. It just glitches out like this. And I was like sitting there and I go, did you know that actually happens in real life? Like that glitch is actually real. Mm-hmm. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, no, like if you use a spirit box in real life, occasionally, sometimes it works better with other people than not. It depends on the type of energy they have. Right. And they're looking at us and they're going, wait, hang on. A glitch actually became true. So it was like really cool. But I was playing The Evil Within last night, and people were asking all sorts of paranormal questions about ghosts, what type of ghosts there are, what type of entities, the differences between them. And it was like a solid 4 hours, a 4-hour Q&A session. I was like, oh my gosh.
People are interested. More people than you know are interested in the paranormal.
So it was cool.
And you did have an interesting question that people had asked you that you had for me because you didn't know.
And I'm interested to see if anybody here who deals with client cases has had this happen too as well.
Yeah. So go ahead. What was the question?
Has anybody ever had a client fake a haunting?
Now, my answer to that with Carly was no, I've never had that happen to me. And I think that is because we use that one form to collect a lot of information from them on. We have that 12-page, 13, whatever it is, page form that we use. We send out to our clients before we'll take their case, and they have to fill out a lot of stuff. But if any of you guys out there have run anything where something was faked or somebody was trying to fake a haunting just to get you to come over, I'm curious about that. We did, of all places, we did have somebody try to pull something on us during an investigation one time, and it was on the USS Constitution for the Navy. And there was a couple young female sailors who wanted us to hang out with us on the ship the one night. So we said, yeah, sure, go ahead. And they actually... And you could see it. It was obvious. We had the video cameras going. They tried to sneak behind a door and get it to move on its own, but we could see them because dopies as they were carrying flashlights, number one. And you could see them on the camera. They were trying to push the door open, and you could see them giggling and stuff at the same time. Problem for them was that we did play that for the captain and the other officers, and those two people got in trouble. So,
oh boy,
because you don't do that. You don't mess with visitors to the ship. So we told them not to take it too seriously, but then again, so they got in a little bit of trouble for that. I don't think they got terribly reprimanded. I think they just got yelled at for it, because you never mess with visitors to the ship. And we were special visitors to the ship because we were there investigating for them, trying to find out if there was any real activity on the ship, which there is. There's legitimate paranormal activity on the USS Constitution. Jason writes, he goes, I'm stoked you ordered a Spirit Box SP7 new model arriving just after Christmas, just shy of Christmas. Oops, that was the wrong one.
Mackie, I've only done cases with you guys. It was
and none of them were fake. That's for sure. Yeah, that's not true anyway. You've investigated other places. Of course, they're well-known haunted locations. I know where they are. I know they are. So I don't. Yeah, I doubt. Yeah. Nothing was fake there. And Mr. Mackey was involved in our demonic case as well. Thank goodness he was there. But Jason, I wanted to put that up. It says, I'm stoked you ordered SB7 Spirit Box. Very good piece of equipment, by the way. Jason, you should be stoked about that. We've used it. The only thing I find is I get tired of listening to the static and stuff, and
that's one thing about Phasmophobia is the static's so quiet.
Well, with the new big end boxes they have, you don't get that static anymore either.
Is it SB7 or SB9?
Well, he said he's bought an SB7, but
right.
I'm talking about the new the Phasma boxes and stuff like that. That's you know, and they're designed to take all that static out of there. You just get the words that come through, which is pretty cool. I mean, those are pretty cool. I'd actually like to get one of those one of these days. Just haven't gotten around to finding one that I like yet. What's somebody saying? Mark Lynn. And Mark says, this is interesting. I'm going to 5 television networks next year for a possible paranormal show in 2021. Very cool. Very cool, Mark. I know you usually can't, we're usually not allowed to say too much about those when we do get offers, but I hope it does work out for you. I hope you end up on there, and whatever show it's going to be, it'd be pretty cool. You know, we have a few people in here who've been on shows. Carly, myself, I've done quite a few. And they're always fun to do. I find they're always fun to do. It's a good time. I don't worry too much about being on them really that much, but they are fun to do and good stays. My Haunted Adventure, he says it's going to be on. Oh, very cool. I haven't heard about that one yet. That's got to be a new one. Very cool. There's a new one. Anybody else see that there's a new one? And that's what I guess he's going to be on. Mark, congratulations. Keep us informed about that, Mark. I'd like to hear how that all works out. And Jason says USS Hornet is haunted. I know it is.
Oh.
Very cool place.
Sorry to interrupt, but
yeah,
there was a question that we got on Facebook that I wanted to ask on the Q&A, and we never got the chance last time.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I gotta find it. But the premise of it was, why do people turn off the lights when they invest? Oh, here it is. While trying to achieve communication with a spirit during an investigation, and it's common knowledge that an apparition can gain strength from electrical devices and electrical sources, then why do investigators turn off all the lights during an investigation?
Oh, I thought we did answer that one.
You might have, but I didn't. I said we were going to answer it on the show.
Oh, okay. Well, the only reason we really do that is, we're using a lot of times using infrared cameras, but it does kind of bring the noise. This may sound weird, but it brings like the noise factor down a little bit. It makes things quieter, makes things, I think, calmer. By having the lights out, things are more relaxed. You may even notice things more of shadow figures and things like that. At least this is my experience with it. But I feel mostly I do it just because it kind of calms the location down, makes it quieter in a way.
Kind of sets
you
the
can leave
mood.
the lights on. There's no reason you can investigate during the day if you really want to. It doesn't matter. Activity happens all the time. But you were saying, Carly, you had something to throw in there. I'm sorry, I talked over you.
No, you're good. Like, kind of sets the mood. So, like, as an investigator, my take on it was, you know, we, to a point, want to be kind of open to what's going on around us. Yeah, the picture. So shutting off the lights kind of dulls our main senses from being bombarded by visual cues and like just visual information, so that we're more able to feel the energy around us, I'd say, to kind of be more open to activity around us. Yeah. Kind of sets the mood lighting.
Exactly. And PJ and Bob, PJ Wilson, Bob Burnell, I do get questions. I'm about to get to them now. So just bear with me. So here's one from PJ. I did a spirit box, and I thought I would ask, are you aliens? Got a clear reply sometimes. I found that interesting. Many voices we don't recognize, so why not? Yeah. Aliens may be spiritual and not on radio waves. Well, interestingly enough, there is some cultures that refer to spirits, ghosts, as aliens. Okay, that just has to do with they're alien to our physical world. So that could be why that's another possibility why you got that answer, PJ. But it is very interesting because in some cultures, spirits are referred to as aliens. And those would be things that are like non-human or maybe even human spirits. We don't know. It's just how they perceive their spirits in a different culture. Bob had a question. Bob Burnell, do you think residual haunting can also be an intelligent haunt? Can be an intelligent haunting also? No, it can't be both. Residual haunting can't be intelligent. That's the whole difference between residual haunting and intelligent haunting. Residual means it's just something that is not intelligent, and it just occurs over and over at different times under certain conditions. It's not intelligent. It doesn't interact with you. It's just something that happens. Sometimes maybe like hearing footsteps going up and down a set of stairs or down a hallway. That can a lot of times just be something that's residual, not being caused by a spirit, because of activity that took place in the location over and over and over again, the same thing happening over again. So it captured it like a recording. Intelligent means just that. It's going to interact with you, or it may try to interact with you. It understands that you're there. It has its own agenda. It's a spirit that has its own agenda, which we don't know what those agendas are. But that is the purpose of defining a haunting as residual or intelligent. Neither one can be both. You can have both existing in one location at the same time, if that's what you're referring to, Bob. Yes, that is possible, where you can have residual haunting occurring along with an intelligent haunting. So that is very possible. I hope that kind of answers your question. Carly, your thoughts on that?
No, that's the same thing. I mean, anything I would add is a residual haunting is more of an energetic footprint. Like if someone walks up and down the stairs consistently for like 20 years, then you're going to hear footsteps going up and down the stairs consistently for a period of time. You know, just the residual imprint. Or even what your example with the guy, the murderer, who people see that they say that they see the murderer even though he's over in a jail cell. Like he imprinted his energy of murdering somebody at that location, and it's residual. So
very true. I'm looking through these because we get a lot of questions. So hang in with me, people. Roseanne, I see you've got a question. I see Rose from Random Lake, Wisconsin. Okay, she's just checking in. Okay, good to see you that you're here, Rose. Happy holiday, Jason. It's Jason Yellow. Okay, so let's get to Rosanna's question. Hi, would it be okay to use a spirit box in a home which has had pink orbs and green square orbs? I don't think what kind of energies there matters. You can use a spirit box at pretty much any location. Just don't use it in your home. Please don't investigate your own home. Never good, because you never know what you're bringing in. But if you're going to a location that has had, let's say, a lot of orb activity of different types, things like that, or different types of activity, yeah, it's okay to bring that spirit box and use it there. You're trying, because the purpose is you're going to try to communicate with something that's there, and they might be able to utilize that spirit box to speak through it. You won't get big, long conversations or sentences. It doesn't work that way. But you may get, like, if you're asking a question, you may get a couple word answer to a question, a 1 or 2 or 3 word answer to something. It may come in spurts. But yeah, it would be okay to use it at a location like that. I don't think anybody's ever defined really and be able to come up with anything that would say like different types of orbs or bad energy or bad spirits or anything like that. We can't even prove that any orbs are spirits, okay? Or sometimes the orbs are just caused by other things, more natural too. But I have noticed that we do tend to like get energy releases at about the same time we're capturing EVPs on camera, right, Carly? We've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
We've caught EVPs, and on the camera at the same time we see these light anomalies. I like to call them light anomalies rather than orbs, but they appear either shortly before or shortly after we capture the EVP. And I mean just moments before, seconds, not even seconds, just like almost you see an orb and then you get the EVP, or you
And
get
that
the
can
EVP,
be,
then you get the orb. You know, so I think that's a release of the energy that's used by the spirit to create that voice, that sound, that word. You know, that's my theory on that. So yeah, Roseanne, I wouldn't be worried about using
She
a
also
spirit box.
mentioned she doesn't want to mess with the beautiful energy in this home, which I think also has to go to connect with the fact when you do use a spirit box, or if you're using any sort of equipment to communicate with spirit, you always have to make sure that you do it properly.
Correct.
Make sure you open the session politely, with proper intent, specific intent of who you would like to communicate with, because in the end, you never know who you're talking to, like Jack mentioned before. That's the scary part of the paranormal. You just never know. You know, they could be telling you that they're grandma and it's not. So,
Correct.
and you also want to make sure that you don't want, if you bring something in, you want to make sure that you're not going to leave it there. So you have to close the session properly and make
Correct.
sure that you use proper protection and grounding techniques in order to protect yourself as well, so that they don't become attached to you. So just to add on to that.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. And Regina Bova, thank you. Have Merry Christmas to you out there. Just a couple different friends. Melissa, Merry Christmas to you. I see Melissa Keller's here. And Jason throws this out. I just caught this. I think he's talking to somebody else, but I want to throw this out there. Energy vampires are no joke. That's what took me so long to understand my gift.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, energy. People can be energy vampires. They just drain you. Like if you ever had somebody just keeps talking to you and you feel like you're getting drained, or you get a headache or whatever.
That happens at events all the time. I won't
It
lie.
does.
Like
They're
I will
pulling the
literally,
energy from you. They're literally pulling the energy from you, which is why you start to feel that way. They don't even know they're doing it.
no.
That's the thing of it. They don't know they're doing it.
I was talking to this one person, and they just
And then
came
there
up.
is some that do it on purpose because they do know how to do that. Right?
I'm actually like wondering if this person actually knew what they were doing, because within minutes, like not even a minute of talking to this person, I got really lightheaded and I was just exhausted by the end of it. And I grounded myself and I shielded myself, and I was like, whoa, it just sucks the life right out of you. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
man, all right. But
Yeah, absolutely.
it's crazy.
I was just going to bring it because Regina mentioned about the mug. So I'm just going to show you. I had these made for me and Carly, a year ago, last Christmas.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a picture of us. First time we were ever even met. Well, on an investigation, not the first time we met, but an investigation at the Hinsdale house.
That was my
So
first
that's
investigation.
Hinsdale house. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was back in, I put the date on 3 November 2018 was when that photo was taken.
That was
So,
when I told my story to you guys.
yes, yeah, it was the first time we actually investigated together, very first time.
Yep.
Let me see. And here's something from Mark. I thought this was a boy spirit saying hi there. And he did send me the link to it. So if you guys want to check out that link from Mark, I can throw it up and say, hi, Mark, you decide for yourselves. We don't usually review. We don't usually really, people don't throw too much up there. So I think what I'm going to do, just for the heck of it, let's see what Mark's got there. I'm going to see if I can pull that up. Bear with me a second, because it'd be interesting for us all. I think all of us to listen to it and see what he's got here. And if you didn't see it, there's a link. Let's see if I can open that link. Oh, I got to type it all in, so I can't. It's not easier for me to just click it to open it. All right, but anyways, you guys want to check that link out? Check it out. See what Mark's saying. Carly, maybe you can check it out while you're.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let us know what you think about that. But thanks for sharing that with us, Mark. We will definitely be checking it out. And here's a question from Barry. I'm slowly getting down the line.
I have some of my Twitch people watching.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. That's Irox.
Okay. Oh, who is?
Hi. The Irox guy who commented.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Barry Mars has a question. What are some of the important features to look at for a camcorder for ghost hunting? Oh, number one, you want it to be at least able to film in infrared. Some people also like UV. Some of the ghost hunt stores, things like that, sell it where they're both. It just depends on the light you use, whether you use an infrared light or a UV light to see in that spectrum. That's important because they all have to have, the light in order to be able to see. It's just not just flip the switch for infrared. You make sure you have the light to be able to see in that spectrum. So you also want something that films in HD, at least 1080p. If not 4K. I've got a couple cameras I just bought that are 4K. I got them online. They came with some extra stuff. I got them off of Amazon. They were like a couple $100 a piece. Well worth the money. Very high quality stuff. I do have to, because battery time is short on most of these things. What I have done, they have a connection you can link in. And what I did is bought a couple smaller battery packs, the USB battery packs that can plug right into the camera, and I run them off of those, and they'll run for hours. And these ones are about the size of a cigar that I run. And I can get like 4 hours of filming out of those things. I just added that to the battery as a battery pack rather than running off the little batteries they come with. But you can find them on Amazon. I'll look up one for you. Maybe we can post that link here. But yeah, that's what you want to look for. Something that's got infrared and can film in either 1080p or 4K. That's the biggest stuff today. You want that high quality, high end stuff because you can see things better in it. That's the reason why. Things don't look as pixely and they're much more clear, and it gives you a much better picture. You don't want to spend a lot if you don't have to, obviously. But let me see if I can look up something for that. Carly, check through the things for some more questions. Well, I see if I can pull up a link to that.
So,
hey, feel free to answer some of the questions while I'm doing this.
oh gosh.
You can answer the questions. You know you can.
No, I'm just trying to scroll up.
Oh. Oops.
Did you get Steve Voight's? I'm sorry. Have you ever gotten validation on who was haunting a home during residential investigations?
You can answer that question.
I didn't know if you already got it or not.
No, I haven't.
I was trying to look for the link. So have you guys ever gotten validation on who was haunting a home during residential investigations? Actually, we did, and we were talking about it the other night. It's a more heartwarming story of ours.
Mm-hmm.
We had a case over in Clifton Park where this woman and well, the husband wasn't really experiencing anything, but more just the wife. She was experiencing shadow people, voices, things being moved around. This is a good example of thinking that you have an evil entity in your home that's out to get you and wants you to move out and wants to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out to be completely different. So we investigated her place for one night, only a few hours, and we were down in her basement. I had seen a hand pop out and wave. And so we were over near where the hand was, and we decided to do a recording session. Well, we got an EVP during that time of a woman who was saying, "Please let me go." And it was like the most emotional EVP that like had the emotion in it. It was heartbreaking when you could hear it. And so we were like, "Oh my gosh, there you go." Like just solid EVP, like figured out what was going on. So we presented the evidence to the client. And I'm pretty sure that's all we had, really. We didn't really get
We had a couple
anything
other
else,
things, but
I think. And our
it was
other
during the
investigator,
reveal. Bob Maloney was there
Maloney
with us. Yep.
right, he had brought a millimeter. And so it was just like he had just gotten it. He was like, "Can I use this to test this out?" And we're like, "Hell yeah, why not?" So he had it on the table while we were asking the client questions. And we asked her, like, "Does this voice sound familiar to you?" She goes, "Well, it kind of sounds like my aunt, but it could also be my mom." And right when she mentioned mom, the millimeter went off. And we were
the
like,
numbers with
"Oh."
the energy readings would go up. Yep.
And so we were like, "Oh, so it could be your mom." And the millimeter kept going off every time we mentioned the mother.
Yep.
And what ended up happening was the client had a month prior to her mother's passing got into a really bad argument with her. And sorry, I was reading a comment. So she got into an argument with her mother about a month before her passing, and they never got to, apologize or find any closure before her passing, and she was very guilty. And so this had been years down the road, and she still had held on to this guilt. And we believe that it kind of like held the mother there in a way. And when we were there, I remember her energy was like all over the place. Like she just did not want to let go, to the point where she would like manipulate the reality of the energy. It was very interesting. Like the mind is a very powerful organ. It can do a lot of things,
Right.
Especially energy wise. So it made it kind of seem different than how it was, like kind of transformed it to make it kind of different than actually her mother. But anyway, besides the point, it was her mother, and we figured it out there, and it was very heartwarming. And she forgave herself. She had a long conversation with her mother after that, and she had no more activity after that.
Yep. So yeah, it's amazing what can actually happen.
I love that case. I'm gonna hold on to that case forever.
It was a good case. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a good case. And I did find. I'm just going to pull this up. This happens to be one of them. But there's different kinds. But this is one of the cameras I did purchase. So I just wanted to share this. link with people. Here's, you're talking about the video cameras and stuff before. Here is one I did. Let's see if this works. It's a big link. See if that link goes through. Anyways, it's on Amazon. It's a link to one of the cameras I purchased. It's not exactly the same package I purchased, but it's similar. But it's a 4K camera, and they are very good. They work very well. We've had a lot of good luck with them. So I'm gonna go from there. So we've had a few other questions.
So
right?
I have one more that I do want to hit on because it is a good question.
Yeah.
We actually haven't had this question before, and he's new to the show, so I do want to show it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my good friend Irex from my gaming stream is tuning in, and he says, "Why are spirits and such attracted to or show themselves to electronics?"
Oh, go ahead.
I was
You're waiting for me to answer that. He's your friend.
I am. Okay.
I'm not going to step on your toes with your friend. He wants you to answer that.
All right. Well, so there's a lot of different theories on why spirits are attracted to or show themselves to electronics. You could go the scientific route. Energy takes the least path of resistance. And, you know, it's full of energy attached to the table, you know, just the current, everything. You could go with that route. You could go with the fact that it produces electricity. It's easier to drain from. It's easier to manipulate than a human or a human's senses, because when you interact with a human, you're also going based on the fact of, do they have abilities? Are they able to talk to you? You know, if they are able to talk to you, are they open enough to be able to communicate with you when you have a piece of equipment right there ready to, and at the ready to communicate? Another reason is that the investigators are using those electronics purposefully as a tool to be used. So their intent is to communicate through those tools. So that's how it's like picking up a phone and having the spirit pick up the phone on the other end. Like the investigator is purposely picking up that phone to communicate with the spirit. So in order for the spirit to talk, they're going to pick up the other phone and connect with the investigator that way. That's the best way I can explain it. What would you say?
Yeah, you got it right. I mean, we do believe they're kind of made of electrical energy in some way, shape, or form, some type of energy anyway. So these things are easier for them to sometimes interact with. The reason I think we catch shadow figures and stuff, we're just happening to get lucky sometimes. Cameras isn't pointing in the right direction at the right time. Or sometimes we don't even realize that we're picking up on it. I had that happen to me, where I actually followed these 3 shadow figures. I didn't even know I was doing it. Subconsciously, I had somehow connected and followed these 3 shadow figures through at an investigation. Not for a long period of time, but I just tracked them with a camera. I was just holding. I wasn't even holding it up to look through it. I just had it down in front of me. And for some reason, I hadn't pointed in the right direction and almost kind of followed them as they went through the room. It was kind of weird. Even I was kind of surprised by that. So it's just that we're able to pick up on these different things because the devices we use do pick up on different types of energies, and they do record different types of energies and different types of things. So that's why they work, you know. And in an intelligent haunting, but there's usually intelligent hauntings, they're able to understand. I try to sit and explain to them how to interact with the equipment so they can do that. So assuming they're intelligent, we try to explain it in a way they understand that they can interact with it.
And they have preferences too. Like we've had different spirits want to interact with certain pieces of equipment because that's what they're familiar with during their time that they were alive.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Some of them. Yeah. And some of them, the stuff.
Some of them learn.
Didn't even exist when they were alive. But we're able to explain it somehow. Seem to be able to explain it to them. Maybe because they've seen it over the years anyway. because just because they're deceased doesn't mean, and they're a ghost, they're there, they're still interacting, they're still seeing this stuff. Melissa Keller has I think it's a question. Carly, I have been seeing a lot of visions that are turning out to be real people who have passed that we are either investigating or going to investigate. My drawings are on point. What does this mean? I look to you for guidance. So she's having these visions, right? They turn out to be real people that they're either investigating or going to investigate. And her drawings she does are on point for what she's doing. She's picking up on different things and drawing out what she's seeing, I assume, is what she's talking about there.
Okay. I know how to, yes. So, actually,
I know what I think it is, but
Melissa, so one thing I want to point out, we were on Cindy and Ted's show a while back, and I actually asked her, I said, what the heck is going on, man? Because I feel like this is going to kind of wean off on a side road, but we'll get back to the question. I said, I feel like my abilities have been either shut off or so dulled, it's unbelievable. And she goes, hey, hold on. Just wait, buckle up, hang on. Because with all this COVID stuff going on, it's a lot of transition, a lot of healing, and a lot of advancement. People who previously did not have psychic abilities are actually now reporting to have psychic abilities and mediumship abilities as well. Those who have had them previously are experiencing an acceleration of those abilities. They're obtaining new ones. They're leveling up, so to speak, onto a new level of just wow. So a whole universal level. So that could be your new types of abilities blossoming. I would say that those are your spirit guides contacting you. Like your abilities are getting stronger. They're able to come to you more specifics, more details, because you're becoming more open. Your abilities are strengthening. Definitely ground and shield. Definitely ground more so now. Absolutely, because you want to make sure that doesn't get all sporadic, especially since you do live at a haunted location. But also make sure you pay attention to those moments that those visions are showing you, because those will have messages attached that would be good lessons to learn. That's just something I'm picking up on as well. So it's good life lessons, or maybe memories, even memories of past relatives, just to say, hey, I got your back here, man. Like, say you had this vision of this one person that you were going to investigate with, and you went through the investigation with them, and you were like, oh my gosh, that reminds me of like Uncle Tommy.
Okay.
So kind of just like little blippets of like, hey, I'm here for you. I got you. We're here. It's just a bunch of things mixed in. So prepare, man, prepare. And definitely ground and shield, because it's going to be a huge wave of change coming. And I can tell you that I've been experiencing it as well. It does have to do with dealing with past traumas and past, like conflicts, and healing and moving forward in order to accelerate to the next level. So it's a new ride. So enjoy.
True.
What do you think?
No, I agree with you there. And I'm just pulling up something here. We have another question too that I already put up from Dominic Wolf. I have a question. After any investigation that you guys did any spirits ever follow you back home or in your dreams? Thanks. I have. Well, I did have something that happened in my dreams one time during an investigation. It was actually before I went, but I do believe that was something really demonic.
Yeah.
Because it was a really messed up dream. So
yeah.
And it actually ended up connecting. This was before I knew you, Gary. It ended up connecting to what was going on at the haunting. But I've never had anything that I know of follow me home directly. I shouldn't say that. I did have one. What are you laughing at?
Because of what happened to me.
Oh, well, that's a whole nother story, though.
No, that was a client case that we did. Remember the man sitting in the chair?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah, go ahead. Tell them about that one.
Oh, God. So we were coming back home from a client investigation. I had just done Reiki on a client. I had removed an attachment, and I did not protect myself. So I made the rookie mistake. They ended up, it was like midnight. I had just gotten out of the shower, and I heard someone come up my front stairs, open the door, close the door, walk through the kitchen and into the living room. And I actually saw footsteps going underneath the door of the bathroom.
True. Yeah.
And I was like, I texted Jack because I was like, oh, hey, did you forget equipment? Ha ha ha. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, don't mess with me. I know you're here. It's like, no, I'm not. What the
hell?
I
wasn't there.
Just came to the front door. And so I'm like all freaked out. I'm like in my towel, right? And I peek out, and there's this old crotchety man who I had just removed from this client sitting in my dining room at my table staring at me.
Yep.
So I ran to my bath. I called him, ran to my bedroom, which was like around, like literally going up a wall, like, and I'm like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Because he's not listening to me, because he was a very old man who did not like females, especially one that kicked him out of a residential home. And his person that he declared was his. And he was not leaving. So I ended up throwing the phone into the living room, shutting the door, and going like, okay, Jack, you yell at him. And he did.
He did. He left.
I put him on speakerphone, and Jack was like, you need to leave, or I'll come over here and I'll sage your butt out of there.
I said I'd throw him out anyway.
I'll throw you out. And he got up. You heard the footsteps. And
he left.
Out. Yep.
Actually left. It actually worked.
It worked. But I'm laughing because that was a rookie mistake that I should have protected myself during that. And I'm just laughing at the fact that I thought it was Jack. And he was like, nope, it wasn't. It was
like,
not.
So
I'm not laughing at the question. That was messed up. That's a good question, though.
It is a good question. And it does happen to people. I mean, actually, Dom, it does actually happen. I mean, you could probably ask a couple people here. We could probably tell you about experiences they've had. Yeah, so it is a good question. And
it can happen. It can happen. So that's why you got to be with, or else you're going to be dealing with old men in your dining room table saying, I'm not leaving.
Yeah. And Nick was talking about something in there, too. Had something. He's talking about had something I believe followed me in a dream a year ago. So I'm just going to put that up. Says he's talking about that. So I'm just throwing that up there. Very interesting. And PJ is saying spirits from. He's talking about spirits from the past and future. Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, all spirits can access your dreams very often. They'll actually, sometimes you get a family member come in and leave you a message because when you're asleep is when your mind is most open for spirit to be able to come in and communicate with you, which is the way they really prefer is kind of direct communication. So it's much easier for them to do that while you're in a sleeping state, while you're awake. So I hope that answered some of the questions for everybody tonight. I did post another link to actually one of the cameras I did actually have purchased, and I own. It's a kind of a kit. But yeah, you also want to make sure you get one of these little small battery packs to go with it. That will make your filming time last a lot much longer than those little batteries that they come with.
Yeah.
And they're also fairly inexpensive. It's like you're recharging the battery. You can actually just use a battery pack too. or you can put the battery in. It recharges the battery while you're filming, or you can not use the battery and just use the battery pack. And those are just very tiny little things. I think I have one here I can show everybody. Bear with me, Carla.
No worries.
Oh, here, I'm gonna do my new thing. So, Carla, you can talk to everybody when I'm doing this. This is I just figured this out today. This is pretty cool. All right. So I
What are
do
you doing?
that, and I do that, and there's my picture. So people don't have to look at my bald head.
So you're not blinded by the light. Yeah, we can still hear you. Yeah, we can still hear you.
Search for so I have this bag here.
Spirits from the past and future can access our dreams now.
Yeah, I covered that one.
Okay. I was like, this sounds familiar. Yep, we covered that one. There's the links.
Yeah, well, I can't find it. It's right off the top of my head.
Have you?
All right, I'm back. I couldn't find one of them, so I'll have to find it for another time. But you can find them online on Amazon. They're cheap. They're only like $10, $15. I think they're like $15, something like that. And they last quite a while. Here's an interesting one from Steve White. Have you ever run into a spirit holding another spirit hostage? No, I have not.
Yes,
personally, I have.
Wait, no, we have.
Holding another spirit hostage?
Yes, we have. It was.
What case was that? I remember.
Residential case where we got the hi. Remember the elemental? We had the
that
residential.
Wasn't holding another spirit hostage that we really know.
Well, it was. The resident spirits were talking about that on the K2. You don't remember?
No.
They were indicating that on the K2 when we were talking to them.
I don't know if they were indicating they were being held hostage, were they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They said they couldn't talk about it. They didn't want to talk about it.
Oh, they didn't want to talk about it. Yeah,
and
but
we were mentioning, like, are they keeping you here? Like, because remember the resident spirits were trying to talk to the owner of the house, and the owner of, like, warning. Remember?
Yeah, but I don't know if.
The elemental was taking control of them and, like, keeping them in different areas of the house and like pretty much holding them hostage.
Yeah, I mean, we did get stuff to that effect. But, sometimes I got to take that with a grain of salt because sometimes spirits will just lie to you too.
That's true, but
so I can't say I had one where I know for sure that was happening. You could say we had one where it was indicated it was happening, yes, but I can't say 100% for sure that it was. So I mean, the answer to that is yes and no.
Well, I will say that when the thing left, because the thing ended up leaving, I don't know if we talked it away. Things actually quieted down, and some of the resident spirits actually weren't there anymore. It was only the girl that was left. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. So yeah, it is possible. I mean, I just didn't count that as one because I really didn't. It's just my perspective. I really didn't know for sure that's really what was happening. But yeah, you could count that as one. I guess you could count it as one.
I took the result conclusion as, oh, well, since
true, or they could have just maybe
the girl was left.
I mean, I kind of looked at it from perspective. Maybe they were trying to protect the homeowner, and once they didn't need to be there anymore, they left. But I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things you really don't know. See, don't know. Even Carly and I have disagreements sometimes on cases and what was going on, but the end result is always the same. We're actually able at least to help the person who called us in.
Absolutely.
So, but I would say I'm not totally sure on that. Carly says, yeah, we did. So, but it does happen. I do know cases where people they do believe that actually was the case, or they have, I guess, more evidence that was the case. So there you go. And here's another one from your friend. Oh, it's for me. How do you pronounce it? Irox.
Irox.
Irox. Quickly, if you may, what was your very first paranormal experience? Oh, it goes way back when I was just a kid. Actually, it was, if you get Travel Channel, it was on, I think it's still on demand. It's called My Paranormal, the show is called My Paranormal Nightmare. And it goes way back to when I was a little kid. I used to hear my name called, and it would sound like my mother, but it wasn't my mother calling me. Like I'd go to her and she'd say, "I didn't call you." And the weird thing is, my mother may be in a whole different part of the house, but it sounded like the room I was in or the room right next to where I was in. My mother might be all the way down the basement or even outside in the garden, working in her garden. So that was one of my first experiences. Another one was, which was on that show, was my sisters were doing a Ouija board session with a bunch of their friends while our parents were out, and something came through on that Ouija board session. So it scared the living daylights out of me as a kid. I think it was like seven or 8 years old at the time. And then I had something else after that. So, but yeah, that was kind of my first real experiences, was hearing my name called. And it would sound like mother. It turned out, I found out years later from a very good psychic medium friend of mine, Becca Boyd, that it was actually my grandmother, my mother's mother, my paternal grandmother, that used to call to me. Still does to this day. I still get that every so often, not very often anymore, but once in a while I'll hear her call me. Hey, Grandma, I'm just like, if she thinks I'm not going to work or something like that, I'll hear it early in the morning and it'll wake me up, or right after I do wake up, I'm like, it's okay, I'm not going to work today. Actually, during COVID, I'm working from home now. You don't have to wake me up anymore. So there, I hope that answers that question for you. And I'm just going to put this up. It says, because Edward Garcia says, wow, that was so interesting that Carly, greetings from, to that Carly. Greetings from Random Lake, Wisconsin. That's Rose. Okay, that's Rose.
Hi, Rose.
It's not Eduardo. She was using her friend's phone. That's why I guess it's coming up that way, she said. So, and what else we got? Actually, we're pretty much close to our time here tonight. If we didn't get to your question tonight, we will get to it the next time. Mark, I don't know if we saw something from Mark Lynn. Yes, if that was a spirit passing through me. I think we missed the first part of your question there, Mark. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Mansfield State Hospital, 2013, when I tried to open a door to an old Victorian house on the campus. When I grabbed the doorknob, something like a spirit went right through me. I turned to my friend. She said, my face changed. She was, and she slapped my hand off. I got really warm. I assume of the door. I got really warm. It was like, yeah, it's possible that was a spirit interacting with you, Mark. Maybe not so much passing through you, but it may have actually interacted with you and tried to communicate with you. That's sometimes what can happen. And those are sometimes what you can feel. So it may have been trying to communicate with you in some way, shape, or form. I don't think it was anything like a possession, but it was just trying to communicate with you for some reason. Mm-hmm. Or you may have, when you grabbed that doorknob, picked up on the energy that was from that room too. That's another possibility. Mm-hmm. So, that's it's possible. It could be either one of those things. And
what episode were you talking about earlier?
Oh, it was my episode on my paranormal nightmare. I don't remember. I think it was on episode 2.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name. I don't remember the name of it.
Steve says this. The last thing that went through me, well, bad dinner.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That happened to me last week.
Mm-hmm. And Bob Burnell posted a link to what I believe is a camera that, the portable chargers. Yes. Okay.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah. And all they are is the same type of chargers you can get for your cell phone. Recharge your phone with. That's what we're talking about. And they're fairly inexpensive, and they can go for quite a few hours. And Bob said he's gotten 2 for 2 for $20. Power banks at Amazon. Yes, that's I think what I bought too. It was 2 for $20. So again, cheap, and they will run your camera for hours on end. So again, everybody, we're at the end of our show for tonight, and if you're looking for any good books for stocking stuffers, you can find mine online at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. And I want to thank you because I know there's some of you in here that saw my post the other day, and you did go out and leave a review on my book, Paranormal Research, Comprehensive Guide to Building a Strong Team. I greatly appreciate you guys adding those reviews for my book. I do greatly appreciate that. Yeah, you know, my publisher likes to see new reviews added every so often. So, and it does help. It actually does help with the sales of the book and things like that. So I greatly appreciate it, and I hope you all who did buy it and purchase it or got it from me, purchase it from me, have enjoyed that book and gotten some use out of it. I greatly appreciate it. So you guys all have a great Christmas. I think we will be back next week before the new year with our final show of the new year, and it'll be fun.
It will.
We'll do something with it. You know, we'll do something with it. And if you guys got any questions, always ask. You can reach us on our Facebook pages as well, or Twitter, or wherever. Throw a question out to us. We will try to get it answered. I owe somebody an answer for a question already. But everybody have
me on my streams.
Exactly. Catch Carly on her streams on Twitch. And we appreciate you all coming in, and everybody new that came in. Thank you for coming in tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Love you all. Have a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. And we'll see you next week, next Tuesday. I think it's the 29th. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good one. Yeah, as Carly says, bye.
Bye.
I just go goodbye. See you all soon.